Welcome, and thank you for joining us for today's webinar, 5 Fundamentals for Efficient Project Communication. The Submittal Exchange solution is part of Textura Corporation's platform of construction collaboration solutions. Textura is the leading provider of collaboration and productivity tools for the construction industry. Their solutions serve all construction industry professionals across the project lifecycle, from takeoff, estimating, design and pre-qualification, to bid management, submittals, lead management, and payment. My name is Paige, and I will be your moderator for today's presentation. Also online with me is Stephanie. Stephanie is a marketing manager here at Submittal Exchange and will be walking you through the presentation today. She will be covering the 5 fundamentals that you need to look for in a project communications solution to assist in increasing your efficiency and staying on schedule for your construction project. Throughout the webinar, we will be asking some poll questions. Feel free to participate as you like. We'll also take some time at the end of the webinar to answer any questions you might have. If you have questions throughout the presentation, go ahead and enter them into the questions chat panel on the right side of your screen, and we'll try to cover as many questions as we can in our 30-minute window today.
Thanks, Paige. I want to thank everyone for joining us this afternoon as we talk about efficient project communication. How efficient are you? Most people in the industry would agree. We aren't always as efficient as we could be. Studies have shown that in the past, efficiencies in the construction industry have failed to grow at the same rate as those industries outside of construction, as other industries continue to push the envelope on improving productivity. But in recent years, construction companies have really seen the benefits and are starting to follow suit, using technology to get every ounce of efficiency they can out of their construction administration process. And while there are a multitude of software programs that aim to streamline the document management process, construction projects still fall behind and deadlines are still missed. According to the Construction Management Association of America, at any given time, 40 to 50% of all construction projects are running behind schedule. So why is this happening? One contributing factor could be that many construction professionals are using systems that do a little of everything to handle their document management. These generic, non-construction focused systems do provide tools to manage documentation, but not in the way construction professionals need. There continue to be inefficiencies around the way construction documents are being exchanged and how review processes are being managed. So let's do a quick poll. Using your best guess, how many of your construction projects are running behind schedule at any point during the project? Looks like we've still got some people answering, so I'll give it a couple more seconds here. Okay, we'll go ahead and share the results. So it looks like majority of people are seeing anywhere between 0 to 60% of their projects being behind schedule. So how can your organization cut down on these delays and maximize the efficiency? During today's webinar, that's exactly what we're going to discuss. We're going to talk through the 5 fundamentals of effective project communication that you'll need on all of your construction projects moving forward. We'll shed some light on the pitfalls of your current communication processes and help you understand what to look for so you can choose a truly effective solution that will improve your future projects. As you know, based on some of the statistics we just went through earlier, efficiency is tied to time and money. So by making your project communication more efficient, you're in turn saving your project that time and money. And to make your project more efficient, you need these 5 fundamentals in your software solution. Collaboration, having one centralized database of construction documentation that can be accessed by all team members from any location. Automation, that directs the workflow by allowing electronic uploading and reviewing, as well as sending out automated email notifications and reminders. And accountability, that tracks everything from whose turn it is to take action to who has viewed and downloaded documents. Reporting capabilities, that allow team members to run detailed reports on the status of their project and easily share those results with others. And finally, automatic archiving, to create an electronic, organized audit trail of all project documents. Now, let's look at each of these 5 fundamentals in a little bit more detail. We'll start with fundamental number 1, which was collaboration. With traditional construction administration processes like email, FTP sites, or server-based systems, individual teams tend to operate in their own silos, and they're really only focusing on and tracking what they are responsible for. This prevents the team as a whole from focusing on meeting the owner's expectations for the project. Pitfalls in these traditional processes include some of the items that are listed on the screen. There's often fragmented communication where teams are not communicating with each other in a collaborative, uniform way. There's a lack of accurate information tracking because each team is keeping their own log of construction information and only keeping track of their own documents. There's also limited access to information, which happens when one team uses their own internal system and only allows limited access to other team members. Teams become isolated, and with these traditional document management processes, there's heavy, extensive administration to handle all the documentation that passes from one team to the next. So here you can see the pitfalls of these traditional methods at work. Each team has their own internal way of managing information. There's no single method for the entire project team, and the method for each individual team, whether that be the owner team, the design team, or the construction team, can vary greatly. Some teams may still be using mail or shipping services. Other teams may be using email and FTP sites, or a team might have their own internal system. In each of these methods, mail, email, FTP, or internal systems, probably work okay for the team that is using them, as each team will typically utilize the method that they believe benefits them the most. However, the problem arises when the different project teams need to communicate with one another. Because there's no uniform collaborative method for this information to be exchanged between the teams, issues can occur. And all of this will result in delays, unexpected costs, and unnecessary risk for your construction project. The other option is a collaborative software used by the entire project team. And for the project communication solution to be truly collaborative, it needs to be a SaaS or software as a service solution like Submittal Exchange. A SaaS solution is a cloud-based software that grants access to all team members and stores all of the data for the project in one centralized location that can be accessed by anyone from anywhere, because it's online and not maintained on one company's server. A cloud-based solution provides access, transparency, and accountability for all project team members. The benefits of project communication using a SaaS solution are fewer delays, lower costs, reduced risk, and ultimately a higher quality project. But don't just take our word for it. Our customers will say the same. Several years ago, Healy Bender and Associates made the decision to go entirely electronic for all project correspondence and records. Previously, the architectural firm specializing in K-12 education facilities shipped hard copies of submittals and other documents through several different mail carriers and tracked the submittal process via an in-house Excel spreadsheet. Contractors had requested to be allowed to make electronic submittals. The concerns with file server space issues prompted Healy Bender to research several web-based software options, resulting in the selection of Submittal Exchange. In serving educational clients, many projects are summer maintenance projects, which present a very short time frame for construction. And meeting those condensed timelines requires that submittals are reviewed and approved to allow for necessary lead times. In some instances, there is less than a month between contract signing and work starting. According to the architect and submittal coordinator at Healy Bender, Submittal Exchange provides a platform to streamline the project submittal process. With these types of projects and their tight deadlines, it's crucial that we have a process in place that keeps all parties on the same page and prevents submittals and other documents from falling through the cracks. Overall, an effective collaboration tool creates a painless project process, switching the focus from individual team responsibilities to the mutual responsibility of a team working together to complete a project on time and on budget. On to fundamental number 2, automation. Everyone listening today knows that processing submittals and other construction communication is often tedious and time-consuming. However, these wasted hours can be decreased when the document review and approval process is automated and online. So let's look at how utilizing an online project communication solution can help save your organization time and money. Here is an example project showing the project cost without Submittal Exchange compared to the project cost with Submittal Exchange. In this particular project, there were 225 documents being exchanged and reviewed. Without Submittal Exchange, the project team was spending 8 hours setting up their project and another 8 hours archiving it when the project was complete. Because of the way documents were organized and distributed, each member of the project team was spending approximately 45 minutes per document in review time. And then there was an additional $700 expense for all the paper and copies that were required. In total, the GC was spending 185 hours reviewing documents for the project, and between the supplies and their time, it was costing them close to $10,000. With Submittal Exchange, on the other hand, the project team wasn't spending any additional time on project setup or archiving because Submittal Exchange was taking care of that for them. The time it took to review documents was also decreased to only 15 minutes due to the increased organization. Because there were no longer printing costs and shipping paper copies, there were no additional expenses to add. And the GC's review time overall was cut drastically to only 56 hours. In total, the project expense decreased to just over $2,800 plus the low cost of Submittal Exchange. So as we can see from this example, automation within your document management software is essential, not only to keep your overall project on schedule, but to keep your project team on schedule as well. Automation will save your organization time and money by allowing it to complete more projects, resulting in increased revenue, all positive things for your organization. Fundamental number 3, accountability. When there's no uniform way for submittals and other construction documents to move from project team to project team, it is easy to lose track of where the documents are at, when they were last received, and who is reviewing them next. This ball-in-court information is difficult and time-consuming to keep track of as documents are constantly changing hands. And to try to combat this common problem, each project team will typically keep an internal spreadsheet so they can track behavior and they can log where documents are at any given time. However, Updating and maintaining the spreadsheet is an extremely tedious task. It requires so much additional tracking to log when documents were received and sent out, to keep track of whose turn it is, to keep track of up-to-date version histories, and it also requires a lot of additional meetings in an attempt to verify that all of the information in the spreadsheet is correct. According to a study conducted by MarketWatch, 88% of all spreadsheets have errors. There is an abundance of wasted time spent in meetings because a spreadsheet is only as reliable as the information and the formulas that are compiled within it. And this all leads to a lot of unnecessary administrative time. But these wasted hours can be eliminated if your organization is using a project communication solution that tracks everything for you. A system that keeps track of all upload documents in an organized way, that sends out automated email notifications to team members when a new document is uploaded or when it is their turn to take action, and that keeps up-to-date version histories of each document. So let's take a quick look at Submittal Exchange, a project communication solution that can give you the accountability that you need. At a quick glance, you can see when a document was uploaded and reviewed, and you can see whose turn it is to take action next. Ever wonder who has a document or how long they have had it? With Submittal Exchange, if there's any type of holdup on your project, you can log in to quickly find out what or who is causing the holdup, as well as track the version history for each document. So as you can see on the screen, all of these PDFs are links to versions of the documents that have been uploaded. This information is readily accessible to any member of the project team. Having a project communication solution in place that tracks everything is critical to keeping the submittal process moving forward in a timely manner. Transparency and accountability allow all team members to know the status of their project at a moment's notice, eliminating unnecessary disputes and, most importantly, unnecessary delays. Fundamental number 4, reporting capabilities. Quality control is very important during the construction process. In fact, it truly is the only way to ensure your project is being built according to its specifications. Now, one of the most efficient ways to monitor quality control and progress is to make sure that your project communication solution you are using has a robust reporting tool. The reporting tool should be intuitive, easy to use, and allow you to build specific reports based on your organization's needs, such as an open items report. Not only do you need the capability to build custom reports, but you should be able to save them so they can be run with the click of a mouse. Here, you're looking at an open items report within Submittal Exchange. You can see the items list, the description of the items, and the dates reviewed by each party. Additionally, the reports you use should be exportable and printable so that they can be easily shared with anyone who needs to review them. These robust reporting capabilities within your project communication solution will allow your organization to compile detailed reports on the status of the project to ensure that all construction administration is being handled in a timely and accurate manner, and enabling your project to stay on schedule. Fundamental number 5, automatic archiving. We all know that construction projects produce large amounts of documentation that must be archived correctly so that when needed, it can be located at a later date. Today, it's estimated that 90% of critical business information exists only on paper, and creating and maintaining all of these hard copies can become extremely time-consuming and expensive. To illustrate this, we're going to walk through another example. Let's say you're storing 50,000 documents per project, and each document has a couple of pages. This means you're storing 100,000 pieces of paper, or approximately 20 cases. And not only does printing all of that paper cost money, but storing it does too. To store these 20 cases of paper, it will cost about $2,000 a year in storage fees just to archive this single project. And if you consider that the average project is stored for more than 15 years, your storage fees could escalate very quickly. But on top of this archival method being expensive, it's also inefficient. How long will it take you to dig through 100,000 pieces of paper to find that critical document that you need years later when the roof starts to leak or the foundation starts to crack? The paper archival method is the equivalent of finding a needle in a haystack. Studies show that 50% of employees' time is spent searching for information, and it takes 18 minutes on average to actually locate the correct document. This is an equivalent of $14,000 worth of productivity lost per worker per year. So some of you may be thinking to yourself, well, that's fine. All I need to do is scan these documents into my computer and make an electronic version. However, making the archival process more efficient involves more than just making it electronic. In fact, according to Construction Executive, paperless success involves more than simply scanning every project document and putting it into a digital filing cabinet. Your storage costs do decrease, but it does not make documents more organized or less time-consuming to locate later. You need a system that is searchable. Wouldn't it be nice to simply type in a keyword to find what you're looking for quickly? One of our clients in the federal government said, Submittal Exchange allows you to keep all documents in one place. It's also useful in managing the closeout process by keeping closeout documents in one central place, and at the end of the project makes an electronic copy of all the files for less paper storage. The Construction Executive Office also says that successful protocol will involve using new technologies such as project management software or other web-based programs that must, 1, consolidate project documentation in a centralized cloud-based solution, 2, increase efficiency in project communication by allowing all parties immediate access to critical documents, 3, establish a good audit trail through an electronic archival that is organized and that can be easily searched when documents are needed, and finally, helps prove or disprove liability and damages in the event that a legal dispute arises during the construction process. A well-organized, searchable electronic archive of a construction project will provide a cost-effective method for storing construction documents, as well as provide an efficient and easily accessible method for locating documents in the future. So to recap, increasing efficiency during the construction process involves a shift from individual project team responsibilities to a collaborative approach, where every team shares a mutual responsibility to meet the end goals of the project. This collaborative approach can be maximized when organizations choose the correct project communication solution, one that has all 5 of these fundamental elements: collaboration, having one centralized database of construction documentation that can be accessed by all team members from any location, automation that directs the workflow by allowing electronic uploading and reviewing, as well as sending out automatic notifications, accountability that tracks everything from whose turn it is next to who has viewed and downloaded documents, reporting capabilities that allow team members to run detailed reports on the status of the project and easily share those reports with others, and finally, automatic archiving that creates an electronic, organized audit trail of all project documentation. Submittal Exchange has all 5 of these fundamental elements, ensuring organizations maximize their time, profitability, and efficiency. If you would like to see how Submittal Exchange can help increase efficiency in your organization, please contact us. You can reach us by phone at 800-714-0024 or email at education@submittalexchange.com or visit our website at www.submittalexchange.com. So that brings us to the end of our presentation today. We walked through the 5 fundamentals for project efficiency, and now we want to answer any questions that you might have, so I will pass it back to Paige.
Thanks, Stephanie. We will now take some time to answer any questions you have. Please type them into the chat pane on the right side of your screen, and we will answer as many as time allows. If we don't get to your question on the webinar today, we will follow up with you after the webinar via phone or email. We did have a few questions come in. How is the submittal exchange system more beneficial than FTP?
Okay, so with Submittal Exchange and FTP sites, your information is stored in one central location. However, what Submittal Exchange offers that FTP sites don't is automated review and approval workflows for your documentation. When a document is uploaded to Submittal Exchange, anyone on your project team that you set to be notified about this type of document is sent an email informing them that new information has been added, or informing them it's their turn to take action. Emails are also automatically sent from the system when item reviews are overdue, helping to keep your team focused and your project on schedule.
Our next question, how much time and effort does it take for me and my team to learn a system like this?
Well, because the system is very easy to use and there's no additional software to install, training can be done very quickly. Using a live GoToMeeting, we can have your project team trained and ready to use the system in an hour or less. It looks like we had a couple of other questions come in. One of the questions was, what happens to the stored documents at the end of a project? So all of these documents will be put onto an HTML format archive upon your request that can be sent to you. So we have a few other questions that came in that we will go ahead and answer offline so that we can give you some specifics on the questions that you had asked. And it looks like we're about to the end of our presentation today, so I'll just let Paige finish up.
That brings us to the end of our time for today. Thanks to everyone for joining us. If you have additional questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. As mentioned earlier, you can contact us by email at education@submittalexchange.com or phone at 800-714-0024, or visit our website at www.submittalexchange.com for more information. Have a good rest of your afternoon.